podcast 1. I know you're probably tired by now, but let's begin. I'm Katarina.
I'm Ioannis.
And together we're working on Drovio, which is a user management / authorization service. And we're going to show you how it works right now. So we are a team, and we have a website, but we have no users right now. So we're going to start by creating a team account on Drovio.
Okay, so let's start with the name. Is it visible? Can you see that?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, okay, so I will use my account. I will just connect with Google.
So we can use social logins to connect to Drovio. No need to create a password, think about a password, remember another password. Apart from Google.
So.
Okay, so we're interested in user management for now. The App Store will create a lot of bells and whistles around the users you collect information on, but that comes later on.
So every time we initiate the application, there is a database, identity database specifically for our team, so we can manage our users. Although we manage a lot of teams, this is independent, so we can prove that it's secure and it's a closed box.
Okay, as you can see, this is an overview of what's been going on in our app since we just created the team. We have 0 signups and, of course, no other signups. And the one user over there is a demo account that we provide when we initialize your database.
And this is a password that we just keep in the settings. We don't read it from the database. Just know it because we created it. This is just for testing, so we don't have access to the passwords, of course.
Okay.
Everything's hashed.
Yeah. So before we enable our website with user logins, we want to set up social logins because we want to make life easier for our users. Apparently, having Facebook login increases the chances of users actually signing up by 50% or something like that. So
just enable it, and then we just edit the credentials. All we have to do right now is just go to Facebook and follow this guide. It's like, go to Facebook, create an application. If you're a developer, you know how it's done. If you're not, it's a simple process here. So just have to do all these things. I will do it as my current account, so I don't have to. So what we did is create a Morning Puppies website that you saw earlier. It's just empty, and we have created to make this faster an application already, and we want just this information. Just copy. Where are we? Here. And from here, what it says is that in every authorization tool process, we have to provide a redirect URI as a whitelist to approve this kind of transaction and get all the information. So what we do is that provide this API URL to do all the work for you instead of you doing all these things. So just copy it and go to Facebook and advanced settings. This is just 1 minute process. We have here valid auth redirect URIs, and we just paste it, and we are done with Facebook. And we can go back. Next step is that when we sign up, we need somewhere to get redirected the user so we can get this authentication token. Because when a user is registered or logged in by Facebook, they create a session. So we create an authentication token, and we need it to pass to the user so they can manage that. So in our example, we have this.
That is my website that I'm creating user authentications for.
Yeah, and this is soon to be our sign-up page, which is empty right now. Now we'll just take this code and we'll paste it just here, and I'm done with Facebook. I'm not done with Facebook. Let's do it quickly again.
So this is the tedious bit of setting up user accounts. Apart from this, our website, our platform provides you with everything you need to get going. So it's advanced developers friendly and beginner developers friendly. And now that we've done setting up, are we good to go?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So now we have Facebook set up. Let's see the login forms, because this is what we're providing.
So we just go to set up forms, and you just click if we want to set up a registration form or a login form, we choose accordingly. So this time we need registration form. For the demo, we will just show you how we will log in through Facebook, so not with simple backend code. So we have this here, just a sample code for your sign up, but you can create your own. And you can see here that we have generated the Facebook button ready for you to sign up. So we just copy the HTML code. For now, it's not working on Linux. I don't know why. And then we just go to our code, to our page, which is, I have it somewhere right here. This is my sign up page, my code, and just paste here, which is sign up paste code. Just paste everything, nothing else. So I save.
Yeah.
I upload. And it should work like a charm. We're done?
Okay.
Oh my God.
Let's sign up. Let's sign up. Yeah.
Yeah, in general, we saw that in the previous 4 presentations, you had users, and we know it's tough. It takes from a couple of hours to up to a few days. We just did it in less than 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe 10, okay, we advertise it as a 15 to half an hour, and depends on the features and the social logins.
Yeah. As you can see, this time Facebook took most of our demo time. So.
Do you guys have any specific questions for Julius?
Yes, we have a list. So first of all, I'd like to see the developers in the room. Show of hands, please. Awesome. So out of you, how many would use Drovio tomorrow, would start using it? Awesome. Great. Really? You would really use it? Okay, just checking.
This is what I've been doing this afternoon. Hi there. This is what I've been doing this afternoon, actually looking for systems like this. And I have to say, there's quite a few other platforms out there. I was just trying to remember what I was looking at. There's one called Stormpath. There's one called Auth0.
Yes,
one called
we've heard of them.
Auth and they all seem to have quite comprehensive systems and compete on price. So what's your USP going to be?
So we're also competing on price. We have a free plan of up to 1,000 users, and then it's what, £20 a month, 70 and 150 for the enterprise, and.
So some of them charge based on API call versus.
Right now, just charge on the users, because we are promoting this caching thing. So you have all these users and just get your information, just cache it how long you want it. In the future, we may add some API calls, but it will be big. You don't have to care about that.
Okay. And my second question for developers is, what's exactly the value that Drovio is bringing to you? Is it saving time setting these things up? Is it not having to worry about all those password hashing things, because we take care of that in our database? Is it the fact that the database where you store the user information is there? What exactly is it? Okay. Which one's the most important one?
Speed.
Speed. Okay. Fair enough.
Hi, I'm a software engineer, and I'm all the time doing these kind of things. To be honest, most of the frameworks, you already got libraries that they help you to set up these things. I mean, for example, Django, for instance, you got libraries that you just need to put a couple of the API keys, and you can include all the different social networks and so on.
Yes.
And then you got the other one that is huge. I mean, I had to experiment one with it. That was Gigia. Gigia offers you something like, 50 social networks or 100 of them, and you got access to all the APIs and everything. So it does it does save you a lot of time, and it gives the user the opportunity to use several options, not just, let's say, Facebook. I'm personally not really keen in sharing my data in this way with the social networks. Don't really like it mixing things, because at the end, end up sharing or either showing on your Facebook profile or things like that. That's my feedback.
Yeah.
Usually for business, you don't add social networks.
Yeah. Okay, so the value that they bring is that they offer more social networks, or are you arguing that social networks are actually not that valuable?
No, I mean, Gijan in particular, it offers you automatically the whole API of all of them at one go, which is, I mean, it was quite good when I had a look at it, and not too difficult to implement. But as a user, let's say, when I register in places, I might just put my email, I put some kind of funny pattern so I know what is registered, and I know you are spamming me later on.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, and now my questions for non-developers. How many of you maintain or develop or have tinkered with having your own website? Because right now there is a trend in making technology accessible to everyone. Okay, good. And how many of you think that such a product would be of use to you, given that we give you the forms and then you don't have to worry about anything else? Yeah, you have to
I have a product like that already. I've got a WordPress website with 11,000 members or so, but I already have that. I think it's based in WordPress. I think it's called Social Login, and it's just really easy to set up those little apps because they make it really easy. You just click on, I don't know, set up a Foursquare app, and it tells you to copy this code, to click on this link, it takes you to the right page in Foursquare. You set it up, you copy some code, you put it into the app, and that's it done. It's really, really easy. I think that this is quite similar to it, but it didn't look as easy. That's just my feedback.
Is it just WordPress specific, or is it?
I don't know. I just have a WordPress website, and I looked for a social login solution, and that was the solution that was recommended to me. Okay. It might work in Joomla or something else, but.
Okay. Cool. And let's see. The next question is for everyone. What would you change about Drovio? I know it's a tough one. What didn't you like? What could be better? Thank you.
The F button below the sign-up form doesn't mean anything. It should be a connect with Facebook button, and it should almost replace the sign-up form, because people are now ignoring an F button because they don't know if it means go to my Facebook page or share this on Facebook.
Okay.
So if you want people to save time by using it, have it at the top instead of filling out the field, and say connect with Facebook.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much. Anything else?
Hi. I don't know how much you emphasise it on the website and the sign-up process, but for me, the biggest factor for me would be security of the data and how that's encrypted and how that's protected, because we see it all the time, don't we? The data leaks and all the rest of it. I think if you could almost outsource your user management to a company like yours, and you were whiter than white and rock solid, and you could almost use that as a way of saying, look, your data will be safe because we use Drovio, is it? Yeah. Then these are the things we do, these are the boxes we tick, these are the audits we have, these are all the things that we do to make sure the data is safe. That would perhaps take the risk off the business owner by saying, we are doing our best to keep our data safe.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Okay, and we've approached startups, we've approached incubators, we've approached agencies that develop websites all the time. Do you have any other suggestions of where we could try to promote Drovio? Yes?
I mean, one thing which you didn't... hello. Hello, okay. One thing I'm not sure if you touched on is, obviously web apps are one thing, and yes, there are a lot of frameworks out there, but I think when it comes to authenticating apps, that's something which there's perhaps a lot more desire for. Does your product allow you to do that? Do you have plugins?
You can make API calls. So the forms that we provide just wrap around the APIs, but we have extensive documentation and tutorials on how to use both. Yeah, it's just REST APIs. You send password, you send the authentication token at the end. After you log in, you get an authentication token, which you're supposed to store securely, either in a cookie or in a file or wherever you want.
Okay.
And
So
you
on a lot of
provide
your
that.
competitors, sort of on their homepage, they have like screenshot of a website with a login form, screenshot of an app with a login form. So I think, probably maybe there's a lot more apps potentially being developed out there than web apps which don't already have authentication. So maybe that's something you can look at.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That's my question.
What's your target demographic for this?
We figured it's very early startups at the beginning of their development process, because once they've developed and they start even with the most basic database of users, say just collecting emails, it's hard to get them to switch to us. But at the same time, they're hard to approach because they're not on the radar yet.
Is it actually the developers themselves, for them intended to be using it then, rather than like anybody doing in marketing, for example?
We're mostly approaching developers, yes.
Yeah.
But we're kind of trying to make it broad for now to see which piece of the market this appeals to most. So if we find a niche in people that are not that experienced developers, then we'll focus on that. Or if we find that developers actually might like saving a couple of days, we'll focus on that. So we're still exploring.
I feel like my personal opinion would be it needs to kind of pick a side, because it feels like a middle ground. There's a lot of really good frameworks out there that have this same kind of process, but is a lot easier. So I can jump into one of them and pick it up being a developer myself. But from somebody who isn't that experienced, I feel like it needs to be a lot easier and like hold your hand a lot more.
Yeah.
It looks like still fairly difficult. There's a lot of like copying and pasting and fiddling about in settings and things like that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.